Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Soul Serenity Podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest, Apostle Ojele Ademu from Grace Streams. It's an honor to have him join us today. So, welcome today to Soul Serenity Podcast, Pastor Apostle Ojele.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. I appreciate the invite, and I trust it's going to be a blessed moment.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking about the God factor in every relationship. So Apostle, can you tell us what it means to have a God factor in our relationship?
Yeah, having a God factor is about having God as the center of the lives of the people who are relating and also upholding God's principles in how a relationship is conducted. So it's about seeing God as somebody who is irreplaceable. It's about seeing God as the all-knowing, the all-wise God, and subscribing to his perspective on all matters. And that does not necessarily mean that we are perfect at doing it. It just means that we have a commitment to doing that.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I totally agree with you because we cannot undermine the importance of God in our lives and also in our relationship. So it's very, very important to, make God the foundation of every relationship we engage in
That's
while,
right.
on earth. So can you share, a personal experience where faith has helped you restore or strengthen a relationship?
Okay, I have numerous experiences of this, both as an individual and also helping others do this as well. There was a time I was having an issue in a very important relationship where I felt hurt. I felt this person wasn't nice to me. I felt this person was unfair to me. And as I sat to think about it, I prayed about it. And what I sensed in my spirit is that this person was in a terrible situation themselves, and they were reacting the way they were reacting, not because they wanted to hurt me, but as a reflection of the situation they found themselves. They themselves need healing. So when I gained God's perspective, the attention shifted from me thinking of being hurt to see how I could help this person to heal. And when we got into a conversation, I realized the overwhelming situation this person was going
We're in
through, that they didn't even have the confidence to share with me
with
initially.
you.
So
I
it's
see.
about allowing God to give you a perspective and agreeing with his perspective and also go ahead to act accordingly.
Okay, that's very true. And for me, oftentimes I don't know how to manage issues when they arise in my relationship. So what I
Mm,
tend to do is to, go to God in prayer and
mm,
then, ask for wisdom on how to navigate through the issue. And
mm.
that always works for me. Because if left to me, I'm going to just explode. Yeah, so do you think prayer impacts our relationship though?
Yes, prayer is very important. And in saying this, I think we need to understand it in context. Prayer is communication with our Creator. And communication is a two-way thing. It means you're going to be speaking to God and you will also listen to God. Because when some people tell you they are going to pray, what they actually mean is that they want to go and report the person to God.
Absolutely. I do that a lot.
You see, when you speak to God, when you take a matter to God, God doesn't take side, He takes charge.
Mm,
So if your motive is to get somebody that takes side with you, then God is not the right person. God is going to show you the right thing to do. God is going to allow you to see what is right. God is going to allow you to see things from the way He sees it and direct you in the way that will be beneficial for both of you. That's what God does. So when you go to God in prayer, you need to go with an open mind. You need to
mind.
also, when you pray as well, the prayer that works is the prayer that changes you. If your prayer
Absolutely.
cannot change you, it cannot change any other thing, it cannot change another
True, true,
person. So when you
true.
actually go to pray, because that's what many people are trained to do, which is not quite correct, is God, I have relationship problem. This person isn't being nice to me. This person isn't being fair to me. God, please deal with them. Please deal with this situation. Yeah, that's not how it works. You come to God,
True.
say, God, this is what is happening. Be open as a father. God is a father to us. That's why when Jesus was teaching the disciples to pray, he said, when you pray, pray in this manner. Say, our Father who art in heaven. So come
Mm,
to God as your father, as a child. Talk to him. Be vulnerable. Say, God, this is what is happening. I do not understand. I don't seem to have an answer. I'm overwhelmed. Please help me.
mm,
Please direct me. Give me wisdom. And when God give you wisdom, it's important that you are not stuck with your own wisdom. It is important that you are not somebody who worships your own opinion. Because when a person put their own opinion as a God, it becomes difficult for them to hear God. Because what they're actually doing is not asking for God's perspective. They're asking God to rubber stamp their opinion, which doesn't work.
all right, thank you so much. I think I've learned something new today. So, do you think, I mean, how can couples ensure that they make God, the foundation of their relationship all the time?
Okay. I think we can't answer this question in isolation to their entire life and other aspects of their life. You can't
True.
just make God, the center of one aspect of your life, maybe because that aspect is very important to you or
Important to
because you
you.
think there is a need for divine intervention in that area. You need to make God the center of your entire life because
Mm,
people bring into a relationship who they are. There's nothing as a bad relationship. There are only people who are
absolutely.
badly behaved. So will you as an individual allow God to take charge of your life? Will you submit to God? Will the other person submit to God? Even
Mm,
what I've found out over time is that even if it's one person, one party in a relationship that submits to God, it makes a massive positive difference. And if both parties can submit to God, oh, the relationship has got no other
thrive.
option but to thrive.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, so do you think, I mean, what are some biblical principles that guide a healthy marriage or partnership?
Yeah, it's God Himself is the author of marriage, and He has clearly stated how He wants it done.
Mm,
In the book of Ephesians, Bible talks about mutual respect, submitting one to another as human beings, submitting one to another because we are first human beings before we become husband and wife
and
or any
wife.
other relationship we have,
True,
either
true.
brothers, sisters, or even friends. So in any relationship, it's important that everybody is respected. Every human being has dignity to be protected. So when you relate to people, be sensitive to protect their dignity. Be sensitive to respect them. Even when you want to disagree, you disagree respectfully. That's very important. Then number two, if it's in a marriage, the role determines the rule. Like the rules for a marriage relationship is different from the rule for friendship. So you don't treat your husband or your wife the way you would treat a friend. Although they could be your friend, but they are much more than that. So who is this person to me? So you need to define relationships.
Relationship.
God did not say we should treat everybody the same. We treat everybody with the same set of principles, but
Hmm.
not treating them the same way. So you can't treat someone, who deserves some dimension of respect because of who they are to you with a lesser dimension of respect. It's going to create trouble. So who is this person to me and how should they be treated? So you need to be clear about who people are to you and relate accordingly.
Accordingly.
So that's
Okay.
very
Okay.
important. Then number
Okay.
three is that relationship is guided by love. And what is love? There are two key components of love. Number one is giving. Giving. In every relationship, if you want it to work from your side, you must be a contributor. You
I
must
agree.
think of what to bring to the table.
To
What
the
am I
table.
adding to this person that I'm relating with? What can I do to make their life better? What value am
What
I bringing?
values?
That's very,
Absolutely.
very important.
Very
And
key.
everybody has got a value to bring. Then number three is that, which is the second component of love, is forgiveness. Forgiveness is very important.
That's
Because
very
of human
important.
frailties, there's no
Mm.
way you're going to relate to anybody and they aren't going to hurt you. You too, you will hurt them. So forgiveness is very important. You shouldn't hurt somebody deliberately, but when you do hurt them, when they do hurt you, you should be willing to let go. You should be willing to forgive. Number three, why forgiveness is important and is necessary, there's what we call forbearance. Forbearance is different from forgiveness. Forbearance means that while you forgive people and they apologize and they are able to change certain things, there are aspects of people's life that they can never change. Not because they don't want to, you just have to forbear.
Oh,
That
yeah,
happens
yeah.
in marriage, it happens with brothers and
Okay.
sisters, fathers and
Sisters, yeah.
mothers. There are aspects of individuals that you have to forbear. If you say you're not going to respect them again because of that, if you put your searchlight on such frailties, on such weaknesses, you can't build a relationship with them.
So in other words, everybody have a weakness, right? And it's
Yes,
the ability for us to be able to accommodate each other's weaknesses that
yes,
really makes a marriage work. Okay,
yes,
so in that situation, sometimes communication is a main challenge or lack
yes,
of trust. So
yes.
what advice would you give to couples struggling with trust or communication issues as we round up?
Yeah, everything can be learned. It's about learning to communicate. If you need mentorship, if you need counseling, if you need to read books, there's this book my wife and I read some time ago on communication that was very helpful for us, because we are very busy people and sometimes, you think you are communicating, but, and we read this book called Crucial Conversations, which
Hmm,
was very helpful to us, years ago when we read it and, some little things that we think doesn't matter in how we communicate, they
matters
are
a lot.
very, very important because communication is not just about talking, it's about saying something, it's about how you're saying it, it's also about what you're not saying. So it's important that
It's
we
complex
understand one another and know how to communicate with them. So the
accordingly.
couple need to be deliberate about their communication, learn about it. If you need to pay a communication coach, do it. If you need to read books, read it and be intentional about it, and also incorporating some of the things we've mentioned into your communication. Communicate with love, communicate with grace, forgiveness, communicate, open to give hope, give encouragement, give compliments. It's a form of gift you can give to your spouse as well.
True. Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
really, really appreciate your coming today because I myself have learned new things today that I'm going to put into practice. So,
Awesome.
just a bonus question now. What's your advice to anyone watching right now regarding relationship or marriage?
Okay. Irrespective of where you are in your journey of relationship or in your journey of marriage, just know that if things are going well already, it can get better. No, and no matter how bad things are, if you are determined, especially if both parties are determined, there can be a positive turnaround. And even
That's right.
sometimes the positive turnaround begins with just one person. If you can stay,
Absolutely.
hang on to it long enough, God will come in. God will trigger that intervention that will bring a positive turnaround. Do not just give up. Cling on to doing the right thing, and over time, it may not be overnight, but over time, there will be a positive turnaround. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so, so much for coming today. We really, really do appreciate, and I'm very excited about this section. And I want to believe that all our audience are going to really, really learn a thing or two from this session. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
If you
you
are
for
new on
having
our
me.
channel, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and also share the link. Thank you so much for watching Soul Serenity Podcast today, and bye for now.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.